Hey guys, welcome back to Letters from the Principal Pod. We in season 2, y'all. Episode 6. The favorite child is the one who struggled quietly. I'm your girl Mary, and I'm gonna kick it over to Des so she can tell you what that really means.
Hi. I don't have my cards. Hold on. No, we're still taping. Don't keep rolling because I'm unprepared.
You're good. It's fine.
Today's guest, I do not need my cards for. I would say needs no introduction. And actually, this guest belongs to two people on this panel. Two hosts. He was Kim's first, and then I met him.
Not in that way.
Not in that way. Why would they think
This is
that?
how rumors start, guys.
Leave it to the Gemini. Like, no, not in that.
I hired Jermaine at the source.
See?
Did I hire you?
You did.
This is very crazy. Wait, this is the universe, though. I'm gonna show you. You hired Jermaine at the source, which started probably his career in a good in that path, right? Now started his career. Jermaine hired me at BET, and this is the universe. This is like how you got to believe in somebody, and you can catapult their life. That is really crazy.
I didn't know Jermaine hired you at BET.
I was getting into my introduction.
Oh, sorry.
I ain't had
to interrupt you. Sorry, guys.
No. Well, now you guys know it's Jermaine Hall. Jermaine was the first person to hire me in my production company with no one. When I left working for the production companies that I was working for, I launched my own company. A man named Brandon, shout out to Brandon, was like, Jermaine is the person that heads digital and he can do your pitches. I pitched Jermaine on a concept we pivoted away from, and then I created what was the show called? With Athena and Orlando Brown.
Oh shoot. What was that show called?
The show called?
That's how you know you have old people.
Right.
I know, right?
Because they what
we
was that?
Right. Meanwhile, it was something legendary.
Jermaine had like 10 shows together, but that show, I don't know what it's called, but Harlem will find it and insert it in this thing right here so you could see it. So I created that show, and then he was like, I don't really know how it's going to go. I'm just going to give you like a couple episodes. He gave me a couple episodes because we didn't really know each other like that. So I'm like, okay, fine, give me a couple episodes. Then after he gave me a couple episodes, I was like, hey, I think I might have something with Nicki. And he was like, okay. Then we did Nicki's Chun-Li album special.
Nice.
And the way Nicki hazed us, we were best friends after that.
Nice.
After that special, we left as best friends. But Jermaine, I don't think I will ever express to you outside of friendship how you believing in me and hiring me as an African-American woman owning a production company with no notable productions changed my life.
Wow.
Like, you changed my life. Outside of your friendship, every day your friendship with me and your relationship you have with my sons, it motivates me, it pushes me. You always have great advice. You check me, you keep me just accountable. And that's why I say platonic friendships are important. But you changed my life and gave me a way to provide for my sons when I left my husband the first time that I would have never had. If you would have never believed in me and hired me, I don't know how I would have survived those first 2 years outside of my marriage. And for that, I thank you. You're an amazing person.
Just say, I hired him, but he ain't been that good of a friend to me. So you can claim him. But wait until after this podcast because Jermaine, you're going to owe me. I want Mr. Chow. I want Mr. Chow on Jermaine. I gave Jermaine a job, a big job.
I worked hard for you, though.
You did. You did.
She said, you know what? You know what?
No, I am kidding because I think, Jermaine I hired and stuff, but that, can I say like mentor type of relationship? I think for us is so important to be able to have someone. And I love that you said that, like a platonic friend, because I oftentimes have the conversation with men and women about whether men and women can be platonic. I'm like, are you guys kidding me? At this age, like for those men out there that say that you can't have that platonic friendship with the opposite sex, stop it. You're perverts. I'm sorry. But if you believe that like our relationship
at your big age, you shouldn't be trying to fuck everything,
right? I love that you said that and have that relationship. I have many of those relationships in the industry myself, and I think that they're necessary.
They're important. I have Jermaine, David, Matt, Ernest, and I find that my male friends go harder for me in this industry.
Wow.
Than my female friends.
Well, that's a different.
That's another episode.
Yeah, we can't do that.
We don't. You know what I'm saying?
And that's I'm the opposite. I find that my female my women friends.
Maybe because you find shit. They just got to be with you. The man got to be with you.
No, you know what it is? I give off a lot of men ain't shit energy, and my male friends sometimes are like, here she go. I've had a lot of men ain't shit moments. So but I'm scaling them back because there are good men out there, supportive men, and I am raising one. But I have had a lot of years where I've said men ain't shit because some of y'all ain't shit, and I keep running into some of you guys, and I don't know, but like I do have that, and then for some reason. Some of, my male friends will call that like, oh, here you go on your feminist shit again. I'm like, is that feminist shit? To be like, man ain't shit, you a feminist. Like, no, listen. And not to sidetrack this conversation, but I will say that the Diddy Cassie conversation has put me in many conversations with men where it's like an adversarial conversation. But that's another thing. That's a sidebar. But I've gotten into so many arguments with men over about the Diddy and Cassie
thing. You might get in one with me.
Really?
And I know that this is all I'm going to say. I don't think the kids should be allowed in the courtroom. But this is letters to the principal, so we want to address the kids. All I'm going to say is I don't believe the kids should have been allowed in the courtroom to hear what their dad does.
I don't think they should have been in the courtroom
with anything. I feel like it was kind of manipulative to want them in the courtroom. Especially during the sexual conversations.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was too much for those girls to process.
Even at
17.
My heart did go out to his daughters and all of his kids, to hear that stuff.
I will say this as a woman raising sons. Yes. And then you can counter and then we can go back to our topic. And Jermaine, Mary, you have a son, you have sons too. Here's my thing, and I say this to my kids, and even with the Tyler Perry thing, right? If I hit you in your face, Kim, right? Or sexually assault you, you are going to handle me right then and there accordingly. Yes, however you may feel.
Right.
Because I have money, why is it that you are now just going to document what I do, make it a longer thread, then come back and want an exorbitant amount of money for me?
Oh, so we still are on the Diddy conversation.
Why you ain't called the police? Right then and there. Even with the Tyler Perry man, because I want to let you know that I'm even Steven. If Tyler Perry did all that to you when he let you stay in his basement, why you ain't just leave? You were grown. Because I feel like that's not fair to us. That's not fair to you as a business owner, me as a business owner. We are it's predatory.
So point taken. I think that I am one of those people who believe the system is not designed to help us, right? And sometimes you have to be strategic. So you're gonna have to document things because at some point when the shit hits the fan and it all comes out in the wash, have your ducks all lined up in a row so you can go get that money. That's all I'm saying. Because if you're wronged, right? How do you correct that?
True.
How do you correct that if you're being wronged in the moment? Sometimes you can say, "Oh my God, I'm gonna call the cops." The cops ain't gonna help you. Let's just be 100%. You sexually assault me. A woman has been they're not helping you. The authorities are not helping you.
Should she have sued when she hit the floor in the Intercontinental?
It depends on whether or not I think she look and the relationship dynamic changes the conversation for me, right? Because
if that's your man,
domestic violence is a different situation, right? So like there are probably all these other layers to it. Who knows? Everyone's like, oh. What about the come up? I mean, this is a layered conversation that we could have. But sometimes a woman isn't ready to leave. Sometimes, for whatever her reasons are, right? Should she have done that after the Intercontinental? I don't know what was going on in their relationship, right? Yeah. I don't know how coercion played a role. I don't know how your lifestyle plays a role because that's just not who I am. That's not who I am. But I know some people are different and they receive that type of abuse and energy a certain way, right? If you hit me, oh my God, I'm going to like, go crazy, hit you back. Well, maybe not.
There, walk away.
Well,
Remember
I'll walk
that
away.
from yesterday.
Right. But different people respond, differently. And abuse is abuse. And I feel like this is, again, this is such a touchy conversation. I don't want to justify anybody's actions in that situation, but a lot of people are so angry when a woman goes through something and then is able to come up in the end.
No, I love a good come up story.
But she came up. Did she not come up after everything? Look what she had to go through. Look what she had to go through.
And I'm about to say, I think we're gonna get ourselves in trouble.
Go through.
But why did she have to go through it?
Hear all
she didn't
of that.
have to go through it.
Well, she went through it. She went through it. So once it's out there,
oh my God, I want to say something. Her husband had to hear it.
Her husband had to hear it.
Yeah, but did her husband say, you went through all that? I mean, we all Ginger. We all seen what's the movie called? Casino?
Oh yeah, Casino.
What was Ginger's boyfriend name? What was Ginger's boyfriend name? Who had the kid? Who had their daughter in the back seat?
Yeah.
Was Sam? No, Sam was Rothstein was Robert.
But yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying, never forget Ginger.
Wow. Well, I think we've lingered on this topic.
Yeah.
But you know what I will say? Having Jermaine here and having this conversation, I'll tell you a secret. Jermaine Hall was the biggest bad boy advocate when we worked at the source.
Gasp.
He loves Puff. I don't know if he still, because he supports women, but he loved Puff. When we met, he's always been about Puff.
Everything was, he would definitely raise his hand for those assignments. Like, I'll do that. I'll write that cover story.
I've done so many stories with
on Puff and Bad Boy, right?
Didn't you do a cover with Puff on Vibe too?
I did a Vibe cover story, a Source cover story, his Playboy interview. Did a lot of Puff stories.
And you've never seen him put his hand? No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, but I mean,
I can.
Puff appreciates how you write for him. Except only had a couple times where he was mad, right?
I think so. I mean, I think Puff is an opportunist. Like he gets with you and he ingratiates himself with you when he needs you.
Yeah. As many people in the industry are at that level. Yeah.
But I love the fact that you said it.
And I think
opportunism, because if you keep a relationship, you just keep a relationship. Remember that lady, I want you to finish your story, but there's a lady, think about who I'm talking about. Whenever we've seen that lady out twice and she acted so funny. And we'd be like, why does she act like that when we see her out? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
When we went to Mr. Child's, it was like, why are you looking at us like you don't even know us? And it's like, what's wrong with you,
y'all
lady?
got gossip and y'all not naming names.
It's insane. And then she hosts radio. And but then when you see her one-on-one without her posse, it's like, oh, what up? Da-da-da. And it's like, I saw you at Child, but fine. So I believe you can foster relationships. Celebrities can foster relationships outside of needing you for something. And that Cardi fosters relationships. Even Nicki, if you're on her team, she fosters the relationships. There are people who do keep it a buck throughout. You know what I'm saying? And then there's people who are just bad people. I don't even.
Yeah.
Opportunity. Yeah. Opportunity is just your character, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just who you are because you have relationships. Swizzy don't only call you when he needs a write up.
Yeah. That's a genuine relationship. That feels.
But
like
that's my point.
Yeah. Are you cool? You're friends with Swizzy?
I
didn't know this. He's friends with Swizzy.
I don't know if we're friends, but
right.
Fosters relationships.
I'm kidding.
Kim say you is not the nigga that I was friends with. Who is you?
But yeah, Puff is definitely an opportunist, for sure.
Well, were you the child who struggled quietly, or is it one of your kids?
Nice segue, Mary. Great.
So yeah, I think this is a great conversation because I think I was always the model kid, and both of my children, both of my boys are not.
Oh wow.
they're both beautifully flawed, and I'm actually happy that they're that way. Um, because I feel like they have less pressure
Yeah.
on them.
But what made you the model kid? Was it the pressure and you kind of rose up to it?
My mom, I think it was my mom.
Yeah.
Like my mom has always been like a tiger mom.
Tiger mom.
Aggressive West Indian.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad we defined that.
Well, let's for the podcast, let's say, how old are your boys?
So my youngest is 9, Jude.
Mm-hmm.
And my oldest is 17.
Okay.
Jordan.
Is your oldest 17?
17.
You waited 8 years?
Yeah. It's a big
Whoa.
It's a big gap.
Whoa, that is a big gap.
It's a really
You're supposed to
big
go
gap.
pop, pop. Get them out right there together. Let 'em
I mean, that's
entertain each
another
other.
episode, but
Or you
know.
can have the kid and then wait till they're old enough to babysit.
Right.
And then be like,
That's a
all
thing.
right, I'm having another kid.
for you to raise.
Caleb would hate if I said that. Yeah.
I mean,
but
Yeah.
like,
Mm.
earn your keep.
right.
So
So I think it goes back to me having like traditional like West Indian tiger mom
Okay.
who was like, you got to be a straight A student. In terms of like extracurricular activities, like you got to figure out what you're good at and figure it out soon. And I think lucky for me, I was able to figure that out.
Right.
Like I knew I was fast. I knew I was good at track. I knew I was good enough to get a scholarship. I knew that if I got that scholarship, she wouldn't have to pay for college. So like I was hyper focused on just track.
you
and
were
just,
thinking about that as a child. What a stellar kid
I know.
Jermaine Hall was, to be thinking about if I get that scholarship, my mom doesn't have to pay
Yeah.
for college.
But
I wish my
what-
kids thought like
yeah,
that.
I know. That's what I'm
know.
saying. What about your mom made you at a young age want to do for her so she wouldn't have to like relieve that pressure? Because that's in the relationship,
Yeah.
I think.
hmm
I think because it like I could see that things were a struggle for her. Like it was never easy, Like
Was she a single mom?
single mom,
Okay.
Wow.
middle class family.
Why are you laughing?
Not
But
you
she
with the
never-
cracker ass
Oh,
crackers.
my cracker ass crackers in the couch.
Yeah.
I wasn't good. You put me on
I
blast. I
heard it.
wasn't going to pull them out. And eat my
You
crack-
wanted to.
Guys,
Sorry,
for the
Jermaine.
record,
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I
She
never.
got a stash of crackers.
Cracker-ass I have crackers in the corner, and I was calling them cracker ass cracker.
Those of us a certain age will get the
You
reference.
get the reference.
But I never wanted for anything. She never made me feel like I didn't have. But in the back of my mind, I knew that
Right,
things were a
she-
struggle.
Right, it was a struggle, and this was in what borough?
Brooklyn and Queens,
Okay.
yeah, but formative years in Queens,
Right. I was gonna say, where do you really rep? Because it's
Yeah.
one or the other.
yeah,
Yeah.
Queens.
Okay.
For
He's
sure.
so much more Queens. Than
He's more Queens than Brooklyn.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where in Queens? Jamaica?
South Ozone Park, right
Okay.
next to Jamaica.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Did
Yeah.
you see 50 on the block back then?
Never.
No.
I can't.
He was a good kid, and he was going to school and running track.
Right.
Sorry, this episode is jokey.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, so that I think to answer your question, it all goes back to my mother.
Right. So, and we've talked about this, well, touched upon this in another episode. Do you kind of feel like, I mean, I was setting the stage for our viewers / listeners, right? Like your kids don't have that experience, right? And probably are more privileged than you were, right? Growing up. So do you think that might lead to lack of effort? I don't know.
No, I think both of my kids know that they could fail and like they feel really comfortable
Mhm.
just like
Right.
failing.
I gotta
I
say,
agree. I agree. I agree with that in my
kids
own
are
experience.
Like that too,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
I passed. I'm like,
Right.
but you were touching on something, Mary, that I think we're holding back in saying, but I think we all kind of feel it. And correct me if I'm wrong.
Just say it.
struggle kids perform better. Kids who come up in the struggle and are faced with adversity perform better in life.
In life, yes.
Right?
I wouldn't say
I
in
would
school
agree.
necessarily, but in life for sure. I mean, struggle builds character.
Right.
Maybe it's that trying to keep them lights on. Maybe I'm gonna call LADWP and tell them hit them for a day
Right?
This is what I'm saying.
and walk around
And pretend.
Be like,
I know.
This is
I
what
got
I'm
it.
saying.
Yeah.
This is
I
like
can't do it.
I
Need
said it.
help.
I say it all the time when, my son who loves basketball, loves to play, goes to the Bronx or Brooklyn to play. He's playing with these other kids. He's like, Mom. And I'm like, yeah, because they're playing for their life and you playing for fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
playing to get out of where they're from.
Right.
So they're playing and practicing every day. And you're practicing on a Monday and then Tuesday, I'm tired. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So there is that sense of like when you came up, you knew your mother had struggles.
Right.
And so you're performing to
Well,
make things better.
I think a through line for all of us here that I'm kind of realizing is that we all are from the hood, but we all moved away from it to raise our children.
And let me tell you, it was a bad decision.
I was going to say, I don't know if we did the right thing.
10473, I'm coming home.
Stop.
Let me tell no, I'm so serious. Let me tell you, 10473, I'm coming home. Castle Hill, I love you. I went to visit Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club where I used to work way back in the day. Before I got in the industry, I worked in community centers, right? When I tell you that this little place where I worked, this community center that had a gym and that had a little outside area, now has a full-on indoor basketball court, an ice skating rink, a football dome. I mean, the funding, I guess, has poured in to these kids, and the administration that works there really is doing so much for the community. So these kids have way more resources. When I went to visit, this was literally like within the last 2 months, I went to visit. I was like, I don't have nothing like this in my neighborhood, and my taxes are crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
I have nothing this nice
Yeah.
for my children. When I'm here at this podcast, Corey's going to go to the community center and shoot some hoops. But he doesn't have access to an ice skating rink, a soccer field, a football field, and all the stuff that was built,
Yeah.
now. So the community, I think, just kind of fosters this idea of the community is raising your kid, right? Like it takes a village when you're struggling. But when you move out of the hood, like be mindful that I kind of came out and was like, okay, I'm raising my kids in a better neighborhood, but really you got to pay when you get to the better neighborhood for every little
So we're broke
thing.
in essence, and probably people that stood in the hood
I should have
have more disposable income.
10473, I'm coming.
I would like to segue, because although I am very familiar with the hoods of LA, if my dad watches this podcast, when you just said, I'd say we'd all from the hood,
Right.
and he'd be like, Desi, what?
Okay.
So I look to that.
Well,
I
you're
did not-
hood.
I'm hood
familiar.
adjacent,
Hood familiar.
but daddy,
Yeah.
no.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
All right.
Well, here's what I will say. I can't. We might have to block your dad too then.
Yeah. Don't let me block him, Victor. Victor ain't do nothing to nobody.
But so, okay, my kids have an age gap, much like your kids. And my parents still lived in the hood for most of my daughter's, childhood. So we were there. My daughter's the older one. So we were still very much outside in Stapleton, Staten Island, shout out Shaolin. So my daughter went to like the local public school, blah, 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 that I graduated from. So like for her, she has hood sensibilities, and though she knows that she didn't have to struggle per se, she was familiar with people, with the struggle, right? She had friends that didn't have what she had. And you know what I'm saying? So I think she has a little bit more of an awareness and appreciation. She's still spoiled though. But, I think at least she knows what it takes. Whereas with my son, I moved to Jersey. My parents moved out of the hood when he was like in 5th grade. And I don't know if you experienced this, but my son has now clicked up with a bunch of other kids who are from New York and moved to Jersey and think they're hard because they're from New York, and they go around like...
It happened to me. My kids, there's a group of students in my kids' school that all look alike. They have this like
Stop.
weird
What?
The
beige
mixed kids
look with
yeah,
they all
the mop hair.
the mop hair and
Okay.
the mixed kids, like Jermaine's kids, right?
Right.
Like you know, they're all like one
Yeah.
group. It's very odd to me. And
I mean,
they-
we're mixed kids. We don't look alike.
yeah,
but
yeah, we're different, mix,
Right.
But you know, it's this mixed race kid
Yeah.
that you know, but they all kind of are in the same clique, and they like you know.
intimidate
I know
people,
exactly.
but then it's like they're really
Know what
not
you're
about
talking
that
about.
life.
No,
Like if
they-
we drop them
They
off
think
in the
they're
hood,
cool,
they
right?
wouldn't make
They
it
got
out.
Some color,
Yeah.
right? They think they're cool in their school.
Yeah.
But I think also one of the lessons here for us as parents, and I wish I would have known this 20 years ago, is that even when you move out of the hood, you should take your kids to the hood half of the week.
Yeah.
So a friend's
That's
house,
where I failed.
drop them off, right?
That's where
That's
that's
what we
definitely
should
where
have
that's
done.
definitely where I failed. I don't think Jordan nor Jude have any idea of like what a struggle really is.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way that they've been brought up, I think that they think that it's that way for
Everyone.
everybody.
Wow.
And that's the delusion.
God bless them though. Like to live in that world where it's like, oh, everyone must be good.
People like us need to get together and build like the reverse Jack and Jill.
Right?
Let's build. This is an idea we're taking.
No, yeah, don't be
Let's-
giving ideas out, girl. What?
Let's build that. That's me and you. That's our
100%.
nonprofit.
That's the
That's
nonprofit
our
right there.
nonprofit.
Right
where
there.
We take
Them to the hood every Saturday.
Right.
Drop
we
them
get
off.
our kids.
Get
who
sturdy.
think there,
Yeah.
and we drop them.
But I will say that can backfire. So, okay. I lived in the hood. I was educated outside of the hood. My parents always sent me to private schools up until I begged them to take me out of it
Right.
when I was in 10th grade. But then they'd send me to like summer camp every summer in the hood. And I was, I had to fight. All my
Right.
life I had to fight for real because I guess since I wasn't in school with, you
Right.
know, like I wasn't like outside playing. So they were like, who the fuck is this bitch?
Well, you
know?
definitely had to fight because you're like one of those like cute girls that like came back. I'm sure you know, like you.
Well, that
always, like,
too.
had
Yeah.
To, like
When I
oh,
first
she thinks she
moved-
cute fights. How many? She thinks she cute fights you had.
Several, or just you knew it was hateration. Like when I first moved to like the neighborhood that I lived in my middle school, high school years, they jumped me
Right.
literally. Like my mother had to come back down the block and be like, "Go get all your mamas."
Right.
So this is where I get the fighting kids thing from. Maybe I don't know, but
We're working through that.
right, we're working through it. Yes, but. Yeah, like so it was that came with its own challenges because
Right.
you literally felt like you didn't fit in anywhere.
Right.
It's like I am black like everyone else, but I'm not like outside with these people.
Right.
So they're acting like
Right.
I'm an alien to them. And then when I'm in school with the white kids, they're like, this bitch is black. She's
Right.
ghetto. So it was like,
Yeah.
it was
it's a
really,
struggle.
yeah,
It's the mixed race struggle.
it is.
The mixed race.
Not
struggle is a
not that
thing.
we intended to go there, I guess, but it's a thing.
We are.
I know, but we're here
The
now.
mixed race guy. I
Welcome.
started talking about Corey and his little crew.
Well, you,
I call Corey. This is so politically incorrect.
yeah,
I
we
should
might be
not say
canceled
this.
for this.
We might. I call my son has no Dominican in him, right? I call him and his friends the Dominican crew. I go, where you and your Dominican crew go? None of them are Dominican. They're all either
Wow.
half black, half something else.
Yeah.
But I say to Corey, I'm like, what do they think you are when you go to the store? And he says they think I'm Dominican.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And that's because, perception in
Right.
where we live is that color, that
Right.
light skin color and that like moppy top hair is a Dominican.
Yeah,
So he has no Dominican in him. but
that's hilarious.
I'm always like, oh, what you doing with your Dominican self today?
Yeah, we'll teach him some phrases.
This is the thing. I thought he better que lo que and all that.
Right.
He better go outside with that.
Yeah.
But it's so politically incorrect. I'm sorry, guys.
Do you,
Take that.
No,
do
it's
you guys ever
Do your kids get
so-
Dominican?
no? They
But geography
definitely-
matters. So
Yes.
They definitely think there's some sort of black.
Spanish
No,
or some sort of black.
Some sort of black.
Oh, so you're in that's an affluent neighborhood. That's different. See, I live within walking distance of Washington Heights. So like I'm right over the bridge. So technically
right where you are
it could
is-
be
yeah
Dominican.
yeah
right.
But you're different. So they think
But what do they
they're-
think their mother is?
Jewish.
Okay.
they know-
But
they
then
know-
they
they
just
don't
think
negate
there's some
that.
Oh, you
sort
mean
of-
if they
Like, how
before
do they
can-
identify?
So that's interesting. I don't. That's really interesting. So let me go back to the kids first. So Jordan is always gets identified as like, all right, you're definitely a black kid. Like people can see that. With Jude, he's a little bit more nondescript.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So people don't know. And when people see me with the boys,
Are you like the nanny? I guess it doesn't work for guys that way. My sister, whose husband is white, says that, and she's darker than me. She says that she used to get confused as the nanny.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's happened to
interesting.
me.
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, but you're a dad, so
No,
that doesn't work that
That's
way.
never happened to me.
He's like, hell to the no.
You're the manny.
The
The manny.
No, they're definitely my
People
kids.
think Leslie is. It never really comes up.
Yeah.
Which is weird. It never really comes
Right.
up. But the question I wanted to ask, and I'm deviating a little bit, is do you guys ever tell your kids struggle stories from how you grew up
All the
just to
time.
get the reaction?
All the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But
they don't want to hear it, but all the time.
we've got to take a quick break.
Mhm.
We will be back in part 2, and you can hear all about those struggle stories then. Stay tuned.